The Fall Guy is #1 at the box office. Francis Ford Coppola's Megalopolis released its first teaser. The Boys Season 4 dropped a new trailer, and Star Wars The Phantom Menace cleans up at the re-release box office. Let's get into this week's movie news.
What is up, movie friends? Welcome back to Raiders of the Lost podcast, the ultimate film and TV podcast, and the movie news episode we do every week to go over all of the industry news, box office reports, casting, announcements, so you don't have to scour the internet yourself. We did it all for you. Now there is
all morning. I've been up since 4 a.m. scouring the internet for everybody.
I put you to work. There's a lot to go over this episode, and the box office is pretty slow for the early summer. It's doing okay. The Fall Guy opened at #1 with $28 million opening weekend.
Domestic,
which is a little below what they were hoping for.
I'm a little disappointed.
Yeah, I was expecting about this much.
$130 million movie, so they need to pull in about 350-ish to start hitting the green, which obviously it can still hit. I'm just a little bummed by this opening. It seems a little low to me. Again, maybe it's a slow month, early May, but this movie's so fantastic and so fun. I think it deserves to be a fucking hit. So we'll see what happens, but I'm surprised how low it is right now.
It could do really well with word of mouth, and then overseas, we never know. It could absolutely blow up out there. So, but they do need to hit $350 million at least to break even. So we'll see if they can get that. It is a bit of a slow start. However, a film that's not starting slow was Challengers in its second weekend with $8.7 million. Has already grossed over $30 million domestically, cleaned up its budget, and it's about to open all over the place globally. So Challengers has become a huge hit for Luca Guadagnino and Zendaya and the rest of the cast.
It's one of his most successful films, right?
It looks like it's online to be his most profitable film ever made.
What was his most successful film before this?
I would say Call Me By Your Name or Suspiria.
Probably
Suspiria might have pulled in 65 million, if I remember.
Wasn't Suspiria a streaming release?
I think that was in theaters.
Was that in theaters?
I'm not sure.
I thought that was an early streaming release.
I believe it was in theaters. I could be wrong, but it looks like Challengers could end up being his biggest hit because it's performing really well. A great holdover because it made $14 million last week, and it only dropped about 35% for its second weekend, which is a really healthy drop.
Suspiria made $8 million at the box office. I think that was a mix of release and streaming.
Gotcha. That's
and then Call Me By Your
Name
box
had to have done pretty well.
43 mil.
So yeah, this is going to be his #1 hit.
That was a huge hit. Holy crap.
This is going to be the biggest thing he's done so far.
Because Bones and All was $15 million at the box office.
Bones and All. But congrats to Luca having a huge Hollywood hit for the first time in his career. That's fantastic.
Second time in his career. Call Me By Your Name.
Okay, second time in his career.
$43 million on like an $8 million budget.
All
That's
right,
a hit, bro.
Right.
That's a hit.
It's a hit.
It's an ROI to be proud of.
That's a hit.
Next up, we have Star Wars The Phantom Menace had a re-release, probably the most profitable re-release we've seen ever. $7.2 million at the box office this weekend domestically for Star Wars The Phantom Menace, which was its 25th year anniversary.
That's wild. It did better than a couple new releases that came out this week.
Yeah, it did.
And re-releases like Alien and then The Mummy, they generally perform about under 2 million tops, but this is a huge hit. It's one of the most successful re-releases ever in history.
This might be why the Fall Guys performance isn't as expected, because there's so many movies that are re-released right now. The Star Wars movies have been out. We have Alien that's been out. So maybe that's dipped into the box office of the Fall Guy, because 7.2 million domestic at the Phantom Menace. I'm sure a lot of those people would have seen the Fall Guy this weekend.
Think so?
Probably.
I'm not sure the audiences totally line up.
They're pretty action movies, big blockbuster action movies.
I mean, maybe. I'm not sure it would have helped. I'm not sure it took too much away from the Fall Guy audience.
I think all the re-releases probably took easily 5 million minimum from
Just
the box.
took it.
Just yeah. They took
Hey,
it
you
away.
might be right.
You add them all up, it's 20
But
mil.
even then, 32 million still not that great of an opening for the budget of the Fall Guy.
True.
They wanted it to make 40.
Moving on to a new horror film, Tarot. So if you were afraid of tarot cards,
it's right up your
you should
alley.
be even more afraid of them now.
Have you seen the trailer?
I have.
So yeah, every tarot card is a monster that like attacks and haunts people.
Yeah.
I was waiting for a tarot card horror movie.
I'm
for
surprised
years.
they haven't made one already.
Yeah, it seems ripe for a horror film.
I guess.
God bless you.
God bless you. Didn't take my Claritin this morning.
There are a lot of horror movies out right now, which is, I mean, I'm not sure why they release so many at the same time, the studios, because Abigail is also out as well. A couple others, Immaculate still playing, The First Omen still playing. So a bunch of modestly performing horror films so far this year. There hasn't been a really big landmark hit in that genre. Godzilla came out in fifth place with $4.2 million. Oh, Godzilla Kong. Sorry.
X Kong.
Didn't mean to exclude you, Kong.
Get it right. Godzilla X Kong. The New Empire. Even though Godzilla's in the movie for 4 minutes, I think total. It's a Kong movie.
I like it. It's a Kong
Godzilla
movie.
X Kong is a better title, but it's literally a Kong movie.
Yeah. But I think it works as a Kong movie. And then Abigail came in 6th place with just under $3 million. So these horror films, they're not quite hitting what these studios have been wanting with the huge front-loaded box office.
Lately. They're all trying to hit Blumhouse numbers, man, but Blumhouse, they have it figured out. Obviously, there's some other horror franchises and studios that are killing it as well, but I think Abigail is a disappointment for the studio. They're probably expecting more, especially the success of Ready or Not.
I think a horror hit that we have coming out soon would be M. Night Shyamalan's Trap.
I think that comes out in summer?
In the summer, so I think that could be a really good hit.
That looks excellent.
Yeah.
M. Night's back, baby. He's back, baby.
The year of M. Night.
That's Ty West thing, Anthony. That's Ty West. Don't try to put that on another
Only
director.
Ty.
The year of Ty West continues with Maxine this year. We have some pretty cool news. So our Indiegogo campaign for our short film, One Click, has been live since Tuesday, and in just 5 days, we've hit 23% of our budget. We are at $7,000 and $7,020 for our budget. We're trying to hit 30K. We have 35 backers right now. So to everyone who's donated on the Indiegogo for One Click, thank you so much. We are almost a third of the way there, which we're very happy for, grateful for. In just 5 goddamn days, that's absolutely incredible. There's still so many perks you can grab. You can come on set and spend a day with us on location. There's perks where you can see the car that we're going to blow up. There's a perk where you can purchase that and be on set for when we blow up the car. Perks like video messages. You can be a guest spot on Raiders of the Lost podcast if you want. That's a perk. We got hats on there. You can receive a movie prop. So check out the Indiegogo page. We'll put a link in the description, or just go to Indiegogo and search One Click, click with a K, and you'll find the Indiegogo campaign. But thank you so much to everyone who's donated. But let's keep the ball rolling.
Oh, yeah.
We're blowing up a car, everybody. We need the money for it because we're also going to be a SAG production, which is going to be huge for everybody involved, all the actors, the performers, anyone producing. Huge for me being the director of a SAG production, so it's massive. So it's a huge deal. It's quite an undertaking, but we're so excited about it. I can't wait to blow up a car, but we need some help.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Thanks, everybody. Let's move on to some news, though.
There's some new releases coming out this weekend. Obviously, The Fall Guy, and then Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is coming out this Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday night.
Yeah.
I'm seeing it. You're not going to be here,
I'm
right?
not going to be able to. I'm flying that night.
I'm seeing it Wednesday night?
Yeah.
The 7th.
Yeah, you're seeing an early access screening.
It's Tuesday the 7th.
Tuesday the 7th, yeah.
I'm very excited about it. I've really enjoyed the trailers. I saw the trailer again recently, and obviously the animation CGI mocap looks terrific, and I really like how we're following a story that dates Caesar a couple hundred years, generations down the lines of the apes. So I'm really excited for that because obviously Caesar's such a great character. Honestly, one of the best characters in cinema the last
great.
10, 20 years. Caesar's incredible. But I'm curious to see where the story goes without Caesar. I like the direction, the idea how there's this sort of new Caesar in terms of being an emperor of the world who's trying to conquer everything, this new ape who wants to rule the world in a lot of ways. And he's obviously clouded by saying it's for apes, it seems like, but really he just wants power for himself, I bet.
Yeah, it looks like a great, also like political thriller as well as the dystopian future survivalist drama that it looks like unfolding. It looks like the lead ape of this film will be a rebel against the new leadership. So it looks really interesting and well done. And I like the exploring the cities, the metropolitan areas 200 years after the events of the last 3 films to see how the world has changed environmentally.
It's like the first post-apocalyptic world or doomsday world where someone says something nice about humanity, like humans could fly like eagles. Or,
That's right.
Across oceans.
Usually we're
which is pretty cool. Yeah. It's pretty cool, but it's always like humans are terrible.
We're a virus.
They're the scab of the planet Earth. But I kind of like that perspective.
Pro-human.
Like, talking about the amazing things that humanity had accomplished to the point of the apes taking over.
Humans had Uber Eats.
Postmates. Robots, Postmate delivery bots.
TikTok.
Some more re-releases, though, besides Phantom Menace. Let's talk about Alien came out last weekend, pulled $1.6 million at its re-release. I saw it. It was freaking awesome. And Spider-Man 3 pulled in almost $1,850,000 in its re-release.
And if you live in LA, The Good, and the Bad, and the Ugly is playing at the Vista Theater right now for 5 days.
No way.
Yeah, so if you want to see The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly on screen in a really cool cinema, go to the Vista Theater in East LA.
And New Bev is doing Pulp Fiction for an entire week in May, mid-May.
Fantastic. Excellent stuff.
All right. I think the coolest news. You want to take it away?
All right. Francis Ford Coppola, he has been teasing Megalopolis for months now all we've had so far is just one official image and then some behind-the-scenes images from the street. We finally got a teaser of Adam Driver in a scene from the film. It looks really visually stunning, and I don't know what the hell is going on, but I am interested, I'm intrigued, and it looks so cool. This is really just one small sequence of the film rather than a supercut or a montage of anything. So I think this is a really smart thing to release. There's still no release date yet for the film, but definitely check out the Megalopolis teaser. It's really, really cool.
Yeah, it's premiering at Cannes this year, and obviously the plot's pretty ambiguous. We know that it's if the Roman Empire never fell, and it was modern-day Roman Empire, but the fall of the Roman Empire if it existed today. However, this clip deals with Adam Driver on a roof. At first, it seems like he's committing suicide, but then he starts to play with time. He can control time. And the clouds, obviously, when he goes on the roof, the sky above him is moving incredibly fast, like it's being fast-forwarded, but he's moving regular speed, and then he's able to stop time. And he can kind of like control gravity to an extent. And I am flabbergasted and so perplexed and intrigued by this because I did not expect anything like that.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell is this? This is crazy.
Surrealism. Yeah. It sounds so cool. So I cannot wait to see more of what Coppola has up his sleeve with this passion project that he self-funded for, what is it, 130 mil?
Oh, yeah.
Woo!
He sold the wine for it.
Who else could do that? I think Nolan could probably do that, but Coppola self-fund a movie like that and then get it released theatrically. Globally?
Nolan doesn't have to do it.
Yeah, no, but I mean, he could do it if he wanted to.
He could do it.
He could do it.
He could kill 6 people to get to me, and he could do it. All right, take it away with the boys, bro.
Boys dropped a trailer for season 4 as well as some new posters. Got great looks at Homelander, Billy the Butcher, as well as the story going forward. And I am ecstatic for this. I loved the last 2 seasons of The Boys. Seasons 2 and 3, it's just peak television, I think, in terms of what is capable for action adventure or a comic book right now. And it's just so goddamn fun and delicious and tasty and diabolical, mate. Oi! Oi. So I cannot wait for season 4 of this show. And there's also news that some of the cast and characters from Gen V will be featured in season 4 of this series. But this is going to be an epic showdown between Homelander and Billy. And I cannot wait to see what this season ends up ending like, you know?
Yeah, I can't wait for it. And speaking of Prime series, you got to watch Fallout so we can do an episode
I know.
on
I'll try
it.
to soon.
We'll do an episode on it while I'm in England.
Pre-production's pretty time-consuming.
Yeah, you can get it. You can watch a few TV shows. It's quick.
I'll watch it. So
yeah, watch it over this week, and then
I'll watch one like a night if I can. Yeah,
we'll record it when I'm in England.
I'll try to watch one a week. Yeah, okay, I'm on it, man.
Yeah, gotta get on. People, it's a very popular show, you know.
Yeah, the next topic's pretty funny.
So the study was done recently about sex and nudity on screen and film, and reports say that sex and nudity in movies have decreased by almost 40%, and movies with no sexual content at all has increased from 20% to 50% per year. So there's much less. To your dismay, James, less boobs in movies.
Less boobs in movies.
Less boobs.
Such a bummer.
So I'm sure when you read this, you started crying.
No, I didn't start crying because I've been talking about this for 2 years now. I've been bringing it up pretty consistently. Like, what happened to boobs in movies? Whenever I see boobs in a new movie, I'm like, whoa! I'm Leo and Rick Dalton. well, hey, there I am. It's something that we joke about a lot, but it's actually true.
Yeah, and the thing is, it eliminates.
And this is just pertaining to Hollywood.
Yeah, just
not
Hollywood
international
movies.
film.
And
because they're still pretty cool internationally.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, they don't care. There are movies where sex doesn't really make sense, and so I totally understand. And I think that this is a line that's going to continue, maybe to the point where it'll be a little bit more extreme, where there's very little sex in movies at all. But ironically, a flip of this is the movies that still have sexual content has actually gotten more extreme sexual content, like more graphic.
Yeah, that's the irony.
As opposed to. And that's also in the study as well. So people are saying that when they do see sex, it is more graphic than what they're used to. So I think there will always be sex in film, but it could definitely eliminate it from it being useless and just to be there to help sell a movie or make a movie more interesting, just having a pointless sex scene. I get it. Like, I think Top Gun Maverick is a movie that did it really well, where they just cut away and then they cut to like the two of them chilling on the bed. Yeah. And like that's a perfect way of showing, you know what, they just hooked up. We know it.
Nice.
You can imagine it. I'm sure it was really hot. Tom Cruise and Jennifer Connelly. I'm sure it was great. But the audience doesn't have to see it, but we can see, like, that was a great use of cutting away, and then we're cutting to the aftermath and just chilling in bed chatting.
But also, there's something about the original Top Gun. Bow, 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 bow.
It was the 80s.
boom, boom. Something about that scene, man. It hits.
They did a little bit of that in this one.
All right.
Not quite the neck lick, but...
Let's get back into the world of the Xenomorphs and Weyland-Yutani and Alien. So, as you all know, if you listen to Letterboxd Recap, I talked about how I went to see Alien, and they did a little cool Q&A with Ridley and Fede Alvarez on screen for Alien Romulus and talking about the production of Alien. Well, we got a new look at Alien Romulus the other day, some images, first of all, of the Xenomorph, who looks incredible in this movie. This
so hot.
Practical design looks terrific, just sweating all over the place, ready to bite someone's face off with his inner mouth, and it looks terrific. And then there's also a very Ripley callback shot from Aliens, where in Aliens, when Ripley is being taught how to wield the gun, they literally got the exact same shot with who I'm assuming will be the lead character of this film, the new kind of elementary character, Kaylee Spaney, being shown how to wield one of the massive assault rifles by
Michael Biehn.
It's with Michael Biehn in Aliens and Sigourney. Now it's Kaylee Spaney and another actor who's probably military background.
Oh, I'm glad they got a tough guy in this too.
So I saw the shot. I'm like, I love how they're paying homage to the past with clearly a tribute to that shot. It's basically a shot-for-shot remake.
Man, that Xenomorph looks awesome.
Doesn't it?
Yeah, it looks really cool.
It looks like slightly different, but also the same at the same time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I just love that shot. It looks really cool. Really great.
I fucking love it. Like his close-up looks amazing.
He has a great close-up.
But yeah, this gunshot is absolute replica of that famous shot with Sigourney and Michael Biehn. So yeah, that's awesome.
I'm very excited about this movie, and I saw another trailer, seeing it in theaters. The trailer got me so hyped. However, the blood was blacked out, like how they do with Kill Bill in a lot of movies to keep the trailers PG-13.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, when it cut to the shot, it moved to the shot of the sleep pod that was just full of blood. It was just black sludge. So I was a little disappointed.
Also, the shot of the Xenomorph is an exact callback to the shot in Alien when the mechanic first sees the Xenomorph and looks up at it. So that's also, I'm looking at a split of it. It's an exact replica of that shot.
Pretty damn close.
So, I mean... Because that's the first reveal we ever of the face of the Xenomorph. So I think it's really cool to call back to that specific shot. Fantastic.
Let's go.
I can't wait. This might be my new most anticipated film of the year.
And speaking of anticipated films, let's talk about one that's sort of... Are people anticipating this?
Nope. I'm going through the comment sections when they dropped the trailer for Mufasa, and nobody's interested. So the Mufasa trailer dropped, and it was honestly very strange. There's an Arctic ice sequence... and Mufasa's an orphan now. I always thought he came from a line of kings.
That's always he's always come from.
Maybe
a line
he
of
was
kings.
taken as a child or something. Maybe they'll explain it somehow. But I always imagine Mufasa as one member in a line of kings who have always ruled over the land, and then Simba being the next in line. That's how it was always presented to us. So him being an orphan, they're kind of rewriting that, which I found odd. Like, you can still make him king. Also, being
still make him a prince.
Yeah, exactly. Prince, yeah. So an origin story, it just, I don't know, it just doesn't feel right, and I'm just really uninterested in this movie, honestly. And if you look at any of the comments, everybody's like, "Why are you making this? Nobody asked for this. What is going on here?"
I mean, visually looks incredibly stunning. It'll probably be a lot of fun. A lot of returning members from the cast will have. The story basically is it's a prequel about the rise of one of the greatest kings of Pride Lands, going back to the African savannah, where Rafiki tells Kiara, daughter of Simba and Nala, the story of her grandfather, while Timon and Pumbaa add color commentary. So we'll have a lot of returning characters and cast members from the previous live action. Well, technically not. They call it live action, but it's not. The last Lion King movie, the remake. And I'm assuming, like you said, that Mufasa obviously is a born prince, but was, I guess, taken away from his family because they're rewriting it. If he's an orphan that just rises up and is like a cool guy and is like, "Hey, I'll save everybody.
I'll be king now."
Yeah, I guess I'll do it.
It doesn't make sense with him being in a line of kings if he's a true orphan.
The theme of monarchy and being a prince and having power, it's sort of being eliminated from characters in a lot of movies lately. So obviously Disney isn't fond of it. I'm guessing, to just be born a prince and have power and obviously just privilege.
Yeah, I think that's actually a point.
So I think a lot of studios are like, "Oh, we can't have a character that has privilege because privilege is so bad."
Yeah.
So I guess that's Disney's perspective, to make him an orphan.
But that's why we love Lion King, and Simba was a prince, but he was everything.
You can have privilege, but you can still be a great person.
Yeah, Simba lost everything, and that was one of the most tragic parts of the story in the first half.
Yeah, privilege is it's lucky if you have it, but if you use it right, it's for you can use it to better your world, which Mufasa does and Simba does eventually as well.
Yeah.
So I understand that's what Disney's. That's what I guess their perspective is. We don't want a character that's born into privilege to be the lead. Let's make him an orphan. Let's make him Harry Potter. Let's make him Oliver Twist.
Yeah, I think that's true.
So yeah, it is what it is. I bet it's a very like Harry Potter storyline of this great.
He becomes a wizard, goes to Ollivanders.
Well, like everyone like knows of him in the lands. Maybe he's an orphan to a different part of.
You are Mufasa.
Of the world. And he's like, he's the son of his dad.
Also, they gotta throw Scar in there somehow.
They have to.
Scar has to be in there.
Scar, his brother's got to be in there. So maybe
they definitely have a villain lion. It looks like for sure.
Well, Mads Mikkelsen's in the cast. I'm assuming he's a villain.
He's definitely the villain.
Yeah.
He's definitely the villain. He's got a villain voice.
He's probably Scar.
No, Scar would have to be young too. Oh wait, actually he grows up. So I bet he is. Yeah. I mean, try and get Jeremy Irons again.
No, it's the thing with the Mufasa trailer. It's literally going to be the Lion King with Simba.
Yeah.
Except now it's just Mufasa doing the same storyline basically.
That's why I'm really skeptical of it. It just feels like a carbon copy of it. Just make the same movie because the Lion King made 1.5 billion.
Yeah.
So Disney's like, let's do that again.
Do it, but call it Mufasa. Can we have some snow this time?
It won't make as much, but it will absolutely make a lot of money.
It'll probably pull $1 billion.
Yeah, it'll probably make $1 billion.
The Disney.
That's the Disney. That's the executives were like, yeah, it'll probably pull $1 billion. Let's do it. That's it.
All right, some quick Dune news.
Dude.
It's been like a week since we talked about Dune.
It's been a while.
Dune Part 2 will release on 4K, UHD, and Blu-ray this month. So get your digital and physical copies of the best movie of the year. If you can, pre-orders are out now.
Fuck yeah. Own that physical copy, baby. Next up, Giancarlo Esposito has officially been confirmed to have been cast in a secret role in the MCU.
He's playing a tree.
It'd be a damn good tree.
It'd be a really good tree.
Hey, maybe he's playing the new villain, the overall villain.
Yeah, he says he can't talk about what it is, but he has been cast.
Maybe he's king.
Maybe. It'd be interesting. Okay, so Mad Max, Furiosa Mad Max Saga comes out in a couple weeks, and we got some Mad Max news in addition that a Mad Max movie is in the works, set 1 year before Mad Max Fury Road. George Miller has written the script.
Origins of Fury.
He's written the story.
It's an origins of an origin.
And he hopes to get it turned into a screenplay for a film. So he has the story written out. Not sure whether it's about Max. It sounds like it's a story about Max. Even though Tom Hardy is now, I think, going to be 10 years older since he filmed Mad Max Fury Road.
If I remember correctly, after Fury Road came out, he did say he had a story in mind for Max, and then another story other than Furiosa and Mad Max.
Oh, he probably wants to do like fucking 5 more of these.
So if this is a Tom Hardy one, I mean, that sounds awesome. Let's go.
It's just he's kind of old now.
It's getting old.
I mean, you see the trailer for the bike riders.
Doesn't matter.
No, but he's very young.
Yeah.
And they filmed it in 2014.
Yeah.
That's 10 years ago.
No one will notice.
And even if they film this movie, they won't film for like at least 2 or 3 more years.
Mm-hmm.
So he'll be 13 years older than he was in Fury Road, and he has to supposedly be a year younger than he was in the film.
I don't care.
I don't care either. I'm just saying, like,
doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
they
true.
can still do it. It's fine.
I watched the opening of that movie the other day. Fucking so good.
Mel Gibson looked 45 in the first Mad Max.
Yeah, but he's looked 45 since he was 12. All right, you want to hear about a new reboot?
Yeah, I can't wait for this one.
The Maze Runner, which the trilogy just ended in 2018. Obviously, Wes Ball is now doing Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
And Zelda.
Which we'll get to in a little bit. He'll be producing this, but The Maze Runner is going to get a reboot. It's in development right now. So, according to sources, the reboot is not a redo of the story, but nor is it a direct sequel to the original trilogy, which starred Dylan O'Brien and Kaya Scodelario. The hope is to make a sort of continuation of the story. It also returned to the elements and make the first movie connect with its audience. So basically, the shot of Charlie Day in Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Pepe Silvey with the red dots everywhere. This is the new Maze Runner reboot. They're like, we're connected here, but also, but it has nothing to do with that.
It's its own thing.
It's its own thing. But Pepe Silvey. So that's the new Maze Runner reboot. I have no idea what that entire sentence means, but I get it.
I'm sure they'll figure it out. I don't know.
So it sounds like they're just gonna make their own original story based on the Maze Runner books and world and lore.
Yeah.
Also bouncing off their trilogy and just redoing it.
Yeah, sounds about right.
So it sounds like a reboot, but they're like, it's kind of a reboot, but not really.
It's a legacy sequel.
They're like, we're going to change the character names.
It's a legacy sequel of a movie from 6 years ago.
They are successful movies. I mean, the first one grossed over $300 million in a budget of $30 million.
Yeah, the first two did well. The third one did not do well.
So it's a profitable IP.
It has a lot of potential. I mean,
it's basically $1 billion IP.
It's grand scale sci-fi. It can make a lot of money. So, yeah, it's an interesting idea. All right, let's move on to another sci-fi property. Tron Ares, which is currently in production, has officially confirmed that the man, the legend, Jeff Bridges is going to be in the film.
The dude is coming back.
You can't make a Tron movie without him.
You can't. He has to be in it.
Do it.
I hope it's a juicy. Well, would you want him in a big role, or do you want him sort of as maybe he's like the narrator, maybe the opening intro?
I want him in every role.
Maybe he dies.
I want him in a big role.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool. He has to be. I think it's awesome he's in the movie.
I think they've just been keeping it secret all this time.
I'm more intrigued by this movie the more we hear about it.
You got to get him in there. And I would say maybe less of a monk-like personality.
Yeah.
I didn't love his character in Tron Legacy. I didn't love him.
Well, so in Tron Legacy, his character died.
Yeah.
Saving his son so that Sam could escape. Well, so obviously he's living inside the program then. Maybe somehow it's sort of an Agent Smith situation. He got copied or a version of it was created inside the program, inside Tron.
I'll tell you what it is.
What?
The leads of this movie have to resurrect him for his help.
Oh, that could be it.
They gotta there's a way of like bringing him back to life.
It could also just be a narration role. We never know.
No, that would be lame as fuck.
He's got a great voice though.
Yeah, I mean he's got a great voice, but to just have him narrate, no way.
The grid.
He's gonna be in the movie.
The grid. All right, we got some cool news. So there is a new movie coming out.
Our boys
called The Instigators. The Instigators.
The fucking Instigators guy.
Instigators, but I'm doing with an accent.
It's called the fucking Instigators guy.
The Instigators first look at Doug Liman's next film starring Matt Damon, Casey Affleck, and Hong Chow. What a cast. The heist thriller follows a father who joins an ex-con to pull off a robbery of the ill-gained earnings of a corrupt politician. So very Robin Hood-esque kind of plot of a heist film. But Matt and Casey teaming up together for the first time in a movie together since Good Will Hunting. Oh, Jerry did that hiking movie. That's right. That's a cool movie.
It is a cool movie.
But hell yeah, sign me up. Boston Boys.
And then Matt and Hong Chow worked together in Downsizing, Alexander Payne's film, which was her big breakout in Hollywood. And Doug Liman made The Bourne Identity. So it's their first time working together since then.
So lots of cool full circle moments.
Lots of reunions. They should call it The Instigators Reunion. I can't wait.
And Hong Chow is just such a talent.
And it's a Boston movie.
It's a Boston movie, baby!
Casey Affleck has a Dartmouth sweatshirt on the whole time, so definitely Boston.
Who do you think's the ex-con and who do you think's the father?
Casey's the ex-con. If you look at the outfits, he looks like he doesn't have a job. Yeah. And then Matt Damon's well put together with a clean haircut.
Well, he's got a flannel on.
He's definitely... No, in this image in the car, it's definitely he's the father, and then Hong Chow might be playing the mother.
Maybe.
And then Casey's definitely the criminal. That's definitely it.
Sign me up, though.
Oh, yeah, I'm in.
What's this Unfrosted news?
Unfrosted has been released to critics and audiences and is getting torched in the toaster oven.
It's getting melted?
Yeah, it's getting melted with very bad reviews from both audiences and critics, calling it unfunny and probably one of the worst movies of the year so far. I have not seen it yet, but these are reactions from both, not just critics, but people who have seen it as well.
Yeah. I mean, the food origin stories have not been that great lately.
This is a Netflix movie, though, so it doesn't matter.
True. Star Wars news. Also, yesterday was May the 4th, so May the 4th be with you, now that even though it's May 5th. Hope you guys had some fun time if you watched any of the Star Wars movies like many people do.
Yeah, I hope you had some fun time.
Some fun time? Is that what I said?
Yeah.
I hope you had a fun time watching the Star Wars movies, which I'm sure many of you did this weekend. Now, Star Wars Skeleton Crew, the TV series that is starring Jude Law, will release on Disney Plus in December, and it has an incredible cast of directors for the episodes. We have John Watts as a director on an episode. The Daniels will do one. David Lowery, Bryce Dallas Howard, Jake Schreier, and Lee Isaac Chung. So a stacked cast of creators behind the episodes.
Lowry's been working with Disney forever.
That Disney money, man.
Yeah, it's good. Then he can make his weird, cool movies.
Well, you didn't like Peter Pan and Wendy?
Did he make that?
Yeah.
Oh, I did not see it.
It was Wendy
Yeah, Wendy.
They should have just called it Wendy.
Wendy and some piece of shit kid.
Wendy in the desaturated color scheme of this world.
Wendy and Peter Pan is trash.
The movie's so gray. It's so gray.
I forgot he made that one. But he's a terrific director.
Oh,
Pete's Dragon's great.
Yeah.
I always talk about that one. It's a really great children's movie. All right, next up, we have a first look at the movie Jackpot from director Paul Feig, starring John Cena, Awkwafina, and Simu Liu. Film follows a woman who accidentally wins the lottery in a world where others can legally seize the ticket and its prize if they kill the winner by sundown. Sounds kind of fun.
It does.
Yeah, it's a pretty fun concept.
I think it's a pretty good idea. It's a good sort of plot.
It's like
for a movie.
winning a lottery mixed with the Purge.
Yeah, exactly. And there's some funny images of like John Cena looks like he's obviously protecting Awkwafina's character, and they're like she's strapped to his back like a backpack, and he's just fighting people.
That's pretty funny. That's pretty good.
It looks pretty good, but that's a funny concept. Like I've always pictured, like, what if you win the lottery and someone tries to steal it from you? I guess it's just taking that even further.
Yeah,
but that's a good point.
And they have to kill you to get it. That's funny, and that's actually funny using him as body armor, basically.
All right. Speaking of Robin Hood. We have a new Robin Hood movie coming out. It's called The Death of Robin Hood. Hugh Jackman will star as Robin Hood alongside Jodie Comer. The film follows Robin Hood grappling with his past after a life of crime and murder whilst in the hands of a mysterious woman after being badly injured, directed by Michael Saransky.
The Death. This is the tragedy of Macbeth version of Robin Hood.
I wonder if it'll also be an origin story of Jodie Comer as the new Robin Hood.
Maybe. That sounds.
I gotta see a trailer.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that sounds for a Robin Hood movie.
He sounds like such a bad guy.
It sounds like they should just. It should just be a different movie, not a Robin Hood movie.
He sounds like a wash-up murderer. Like, Jesus Christ, I thought Robin Hood was pretty dope until I heard this synopsis.
Not a hero anymore.
I fucking suck.
I'm a murderer. I'm a piece of shit. It sounds like, honestly, like a weird movie. Not gonna lie.
Maybe the trailer would be cool.
Maybe. We'll see. Next up, Mike Flanagan, one of the most in-demand filmmakers in the horror genre, is in talks to direct a new Exorcist movie for Blumhouse. There's no confirmation as this will be tied to the original planned trilogy from Exorcist Believer because that filmmaker dropped out, so this might not be connected to that at all. It might be its own thing. And Mike Flanagan, I'm sure if he's going to make a movie in the Exorcist world, it would be his own thing.
Yeah. But clearly, since Blumhouse got the rights to it, they are milking it because True Believer, whatever it's called.
The Exorcist Believer,
yeah, made $130 million.
It's good box office return.
So Blumhouse, there's
gonna be an Exorcist movie every year.
Blumhouse basically prints money at this point. They print money. They know what the hell they're doing. Moving on to a new movie with an incredible cast called Sacrifice. We have Chris Evans, Anya Taylor-Joy, Salma Hayek, and Brendan Fraser, who've all been cast in this film, being made by Romain Gavras. The film follows a failing movie star who tries to get back into the spotlight at a charity gala, but gets upstaged and kidnapped by radical warriors. Holy crap.
Radical warriors, so there must be some kind of, not quite our world, but something different about it. Like, warriors.
We're just like, radical, bruh. Like, totally radical.
So they're surfers?
Surfer, bruh. Yeah.
So it's Point Break.
Or extreme sports. Like, totally radical, bruh.
This sounds great. It's a fantastic cast, too.
It really is.
Amazing cast. Looking forward to that.
My girl, Salma.
Next up, updates on Zelda from director Wes Ball, who directed the upcoming Apes film that comes out later this week. He promises to go to the ends of the earth to make his live-action Legend of Zelda movie the best thing possible for fans, which is what you want to hear about a beloved IP.
Yes, and
fans first,
and from the creative mind behind it.
When filmmakers say, "I'm going to do my version or a new version of it," fuck that. Just do what people love. Just do it the way people love it, and people will show up and people will enjoy it. And that's your best bet for making a successful franchise. If you make Zelda for Zelda fans and don't make a different spin, don't make a different interpretation. Don't try to contemporize it. Just make a Zelda movie like the fucking games. That's it.
Yeah.
Everything's in the games.
Too many studios, they hire creatives to make projects, TV series, or movies, and they don't even have passion for the source material or have even played the game, read the comics, read the books, And they're like, yeah, we'll figure it out.
I'm gonna do my version. Yeah. So
I like Zelda, but like, let's call him Steven instead.
So this is good news for anyone who grew up playing Zelda and who currently plays the new Zelda games,
which is probably 80% of the people listening right now. Yeah. Moving on to another vampire film coming out. This
Vampires
is pretty cool news. Flesh of the Gods. So, director Panos Cosmatos, who made Mandy, an awesome horror movie, is making a vampire film starring Kristen Stewart and Oscar Isaac, who will be a vampire married couple who leave their skyscraper condo every night into the electric nighttime realm of 80s LA.
Sounds fun.
80s
Sign
will
me up.
never die, baby.
Sign me up.
80s vampires, LA. Let me see some neon. Let's hear some Tears for Fears. Let's go.
You think they're going to play Journey?
Yeah, they better play Journey. I want separate ways to open that movie.
It sounds like a fun project. I can't wait to see some images and a trailer of this. Next up, we have an update for Sausage Party, the TV series adaptation of the film Sausage Party. The returning cast will be Seth Rogen, Kristen Wiig, Michael Cera, David Krumholtz, and Edward Norton returning for their roles from the film. This series is actually coming out very soon, July 11th, on Amazon Prime.
All right,
I'm not sure I'll watch it.
I like the movie, but yeah, I don't know if I'll watch the show. So there's this rumor going around the internet like crazy right now. It's about Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, and everyone knows his workout and work routine is absurd. He's like up at 4 a.m., insane work ethic. I don't know if this is true or not, but it's just spreading like wildfire, and I wanted to bring it up for a bit of fun. It's probably false. Not a lot of legitimate outlets are reporting this right now.
Let's hear the tea.
But he also has some power. But it's some tea that could be true, might not be true. I don't know. So according to rumors, again, I don't know if this is true or not, Dwayne, for the film Red One, cost the production an extra $50 million in the budget, putting it up to $250 million. This is the Christmas movie he's making with Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, yeah.
According to the rumors, I cannot substantiate these claims. He showed up to late 7 to 8 hours late consistently on the film, and also delayed so much of the production, causing it to go $50 million over budget and then being pushed to November 2025 instead of December 2024, which the original release date was going to be. I don't know if this is true or not. It's just spreading the internet. I thought I'd bring it up for a bit of fun. And also because there was a video released where he pees into bottles of bottles of water because he's in the gym. He's working so hard. He wants to save time.
He doesn't go to the bathroom?
So people are like, you're peeing in bottles to save time, but then you are late for set. I don't know if any of it's true. The bottle thing is true because it's a video of him doing it. It's pretty funny. I feel like maybe it happened once on set, and who knows? But it's just it's all over the internet right now. I thought I'd bring it up, but I doubt it's true.
That's a really,
showing up 7-8 hours late on set, like there's no way you can run a movie like that.
Yeah, that's wild.
I don't know if
because especially superstars like that, generally they're not shooting like the 14-16 hour days all the time. So I doubt that's true.
Maybe it happened once, or maybe it happened every day. I don't know, but I doubt it. But it's a bit of fun.
I doubt it.
I
don't know. Yeah.
I feel like he wouldn't have a great
7 to 8 hours late.
Such a great reputation if that's what the case was.
Also working with Reynolds again.
Yeah.
Who's also seems like they just seem like professionals.
It's probably BS, but it's kind of funny that stuff like that spreads. It's like the Robert Pattinson and Zoe Kravitz
on the Batmobile,
having sex on the Batmobile, and Zoe Kravitz getting pregnant. Like the rumors that spread in Hollywood on the internet are pretty funny. But because it's not been run by any major outlets, that's why I'm saying.
Except for us. Thanks, James.
You can cut it if you want, but it's just kind of funny.
No, keep it in.
It's a funny rumor because we talked about those rumors too.
I think it's ridiculous because Dwayne has always seemed like a stand-up professional.
Yeah, it's always funny to bring up these ridiculous rumors.
And also, he's been one to call out unprofessionalism on sets he's been on.
Yeah, that's why I highly doubt it's true. The peeing in bottles is true though. It's a super funny video he made. He's like taking a video in his iron gym. He's like, I'm getting in right now, and then yeah, that's my bottle. It looks like pee because it is urine. I don't have time, so I like to save time. It's super funny. So
gotta keep the heart rate up.
That's true, but I doubt that being late consistently 70 hours is true.
Because also he wakes up so early so that he can work out before he has to get to set.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And they build the gym on set.
Yeah, so that he gets his lifts in without affecting the schedule.
It's just a rumor that makes no sense because they build the gym on location for him.
Yeah.
So he works
traveling gym.
He works out probably like a couple hundred feet away from where he's filming.
Yeah. All right, next up. I like this news. So Russell Crowe is in the movie called like The Exorcism. It's just Exorcism or something.
Oh, the one that's coming out soon. Yeah.
And actually, they made a poster that is fucking literally the same thing as the Pope's Exorcist poster from 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And people are doing a split screen of it, and it's like they just ripped off.
I gotta look this up.
They just ripped off the Pope's Exorcist poster to steal from that. The success of that movie. It did very well. Speaking of the Pope's Exorcist, the sequel is a go. Russell Crowe's back. Get that Vespa. I want to see Russell Crowe ride that Vespa around Rome ASAP. Get me on that.
Fire up the moped. Oh yeah, you're right. The posters are very similar.
Yeah, they just made the same poster as the Pope's Exorcist. But I like the Pope's Exorcist. Once it got going, it was great. The family sucked, but the kids suck. Hollywood kids suck.
The
Hollywood kids is the same thing every time. It's the same thing every time.
They're just terrible. They're so annoying. They think they're so fucking cool because I think it's the writers putting themselves in the roles. Like a writer.
I'm gonna make them edgy. Like not every kid is like that.
Like I'm edgy. I'm anti-authority. I protest and like I'm a vegan, but also like fuck you, mom. I'm smoking cigarettes on a balcony for some reason.
Most kids are not like that. That's like 1% of kids, but every movie in Hollywood, that's what they're like. Hopefully, they have a more normal family.
They're insanely unlikable these days.
Kids in movies, teenagers in movies are unlikable.
They used to be the best part of movies growing up. Like I used to love and connect with those kids' characters, but
they suck now.
Like, can you imagine if they made the Goonies today? They'd be such assholes. At least it did a good job with their kid actors. Like those kids were great. Yeah, they're funny as hell.
Yeah,
but man, the kids in the Pope's Exorcist, I almost turned it off because I was like so put off by those the characters.
But I'm telling you, once things start going, it's a fun movie.
True. All right, last bit of news. Adam Wingard, who just made the last couple MonsterVerse movies of Godzilla and Kong and is killing it right now, and also made the great horror film The Guest, just got scooped up by A24 to make his action movie Onslaught.
No news about what Onslaught is about, but it is from the writer of The Guest. So they're collaborating again. They also made another movie together. So all we know is this is a gonzo, balls-to-the-walls action movie. That's all we know.
Hell yeah. Good for you, Adam Wingard. Let's make something cool.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Sick.
He's an awesome director. I think he's really great.
Yeah. And he's been working in such big projects. Maybe he'll get like lots of CGI and stuff. So maybe it's going to be grounded like lots of practical effects like The Guest.
Yeah.
So sign me up because The Guest has some really cool action sequences in it. It really does. That wraps movie news.
That's it.
All right, that's everything we got going on. So for movie episodes in the past week or so, we've done The Mummy. We got some cool stuff coming up this week. We're doing an episode tomorrow on The Usual Suspects. No, we're doing a movie draft tomorrow.
Movie draft of the best movie villains movie draft.
Wednesday, we'll do an episode on The Usual Suspects.
Yep.
So if you haven't seen that in a while, revisit it because it still holds up today. And we'll figure some other stuff out to do. Thank you so much for tuning in. Become a patron today at patreon.com/Raiders of the Lost Podcast. Leave those 5-star ratings and reviews on Spotify and Apple. And take care, everybody.
See you next time.
Thank you for watching Raiders of the Lost Podcast. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button as well. Notifications for sure. Listen to the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, everywhere you can listen to podcasts. And be sure to check out this other content we have on our YouTube channel.